Okey and Ngozi were the kind of couple people admired. Okey was a driven man, a young area business manager at Coca-Cola with a promising career, while Ngozi was a dedicated student at Rivoli. They lived together in GRA Port Harcourt, supporting each other's dreams and building a vision of a prosperous future. Life was perfect, until one fateful decision brought their world crashing down. It all began when Okey's closest friend introduced him to an oil bunkering scheme, promising him riches beyond his imagination. Blinded by the lure of fast wealth, Okey emptied his savings, taking 30 million naira from Coca-Cola's funds, and poured it all into the scheme. He saw it as a chance to change his life overnight. But that dream turned into a nightmare. One morning, he woke up to hear that the government had raided the bunkering sites, destroying everything. His investment was gone, his dreams shattered. News of Okey's actions quickly reached his company, and an audit revealed the missing funds. He was arrested, thrown into jail, and sentenced to 3 years. Ngozi's heart broke as she watched him handcuffed and led away, but her pain only intensified when she realized how much her life depended on him. Without his support, her world crumbled. Days became endless nights of loneliness and tears, with only letters from Okey to comfort her. But even those grew infrequent as his guilt weighed on him. When Okey was released, he returned to a life that had become unrecognizable. Their once beautiful home was gone, repossessed to cover his debts. They moved to a cramped, dilapidated room on the outskirts of Port Harcourt. Despite everything, Ngozi stayed by his side, but survival became a daily struggle. Money was scarce, food scarcer. Okey spent his days in silent shame, haunted by the looks of pity from neighbors and the disappointment in Ngozi's eyes. Desperation became their reality. One evening, after a long, painful discussion, they agreed that Ngozi would start seeing other men for money. The thought tore them apart, but they felt it was the only way to keep going. And so, with a heart heavy with sorrow, Ngozi began a new, darker chapter. She met a wealthy politician, a man who lived in their former neighborhood in GRA. Seeking a way to make Okey's life easier, she lied to the politician, saying Okey was her brother in need of a job. Okey became the politician's driver, swallowing his pride as he ferried the man around. Day after day, he watched from the rearview mirror as the politician held Ngozi's hand, took her out to expensive dinners, and even kissed her in the back seat. Each glance felt like a dagger to his heart, but Okey kept silent, bearing it all for the woman he loved. Friends whispered, laughed behind his back, and questioned his choices, but he ignored them, determined to endure for Ngozi's sake. Over time, though, the politician's money and attention changed Ngozi. She became distant, cold, and dismissive toward Okey. Nights she used to spend talking with him turned into silent evenings of her staring at her phone. She grew frustrated, telling him he was holding her back. One evening, as the rain poured heavily, she told him she was done, and she ordered the politician to fire him. Okey walked away in the rain, his heart broken, his spirit crushed. Depression swallowed him whole. Alone, without love or purpose, Okey often found himself standing on the edge of despair, questioning his very existence. Life felt empty, like a dark tunnel with no way out. Then one day, a message arrived from an old friend, Emeka, a friend Okey had once supported through school when times were hard. Emeka, now successful and living in England, remembered Okey's kindness and had tracked him down. His company was expanding into Nigeria, and he offered Okey a high-ranking position, trusting his old friend's abilities. Okey, barely believing his luck, accepted. Slowly, he began to rebuild his life, throwing himself into his work. With time, Okey rose to become the country manager, gaining international recognition for his achievements. He returned to the life of wealth he once knew, but this time it felt earned, his wounds becoming the foundation of his newfound strength. Meanwhile, after the politician's death from cancer, his family seized everything he had left in Ngozi, leaving her with nothing. She struggled to find her footing, applying to various jobs, but doors remained closed. One day, she applied to a human resources position at Okey's company, unaware that he was now the manager. When Ngozi entered the interview room and saw Okey, she froze. The sight of him, once broken now standing tall, tore at her heart. Memories flooded back, the love they'd shared, the pain they'd endured, and the choices she regretted. Tears filled her eyes as she knelt before him, begging for forgiveness. Okey looked at her, and for a moment, years of betrayal and hurt clouded his vision. But he saw the sincerity in her eyes, the pain she felt, and the weight of her own choices. In that moment, he found the strength to forgive. He helped her up, reassured her, and offered her the position. They began working together, mending their bond day by day, remembering the love that had once bound them. Years passed, and they grew closer, the past becoming a distant memory, replaced by a future of hope and healing. Eventually they married, and soon they were blessed with 3 beautiful children. Okey and Ngozi finally found peace, a happiness that had been hard-won and forged through trials. They had gone from love to betrayal and despair to redemption, but through it all, they emerged stronger, a testament to resilience, forgiveness, and the endurance of true love. Moral of the story: resilience is essential. Okey's journey teaches us that life can bring us to our knees, but with inner strength, we can rise again. Forgiveness heals through his forgiveness. Okey not only gave Ngozi a second chance but also freed himself from the weight of bitterness. Love is tested by adversity. Their love endured despite betrayal and hardship, proving that true love can survive even the darkest storms. Integrity outweighs shortcuts. Okey's downfall began with a shortcut for wealth, but he learned that true success comes from hard work. People can change. Ngozi's eventual remorse, and Okey's growth shows that everyone can evolve, even after making mistakes.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.